Welcome back to Weems Motor Co. Today, we're going to talk about that pain in my side, that thorn in my flesh, that 1956 Triumph T110 650 desert sled. Man, this bike is frustrating. Alright, so if you guys have been following along with Weems Motor Co., you've seen this bike and you know that we're getting ready to head out to California to do 100 miles to the Mojave Desert for the Biltwell 100. Now, this bike we pretty much built from a lot of stuff we had laying around at the shop, had an engine that was already built by another person, and yada yada yada, things go on and yada and on, but this bike runs great sometimes. Other times, it likes to do things like this. And you're like, what is that? Weems, what are those? Why are they so gnarly looking? Well, these, my friends, are called push rods, and that's what causes the valves to open and close on these old pre-unit Triumphs. And I've decided to finally give this 1956 Triumph a name. Let's tag it up. Alright, so you're asking yourself, the PRP, Weems, what does that mean? It's an abbreviation. I've named this bike the Push Rod Popper. Now, for some reason, unbeknownst to me, and many of my friends who I've reached out to, this particular motorcycle likes to break push rods. This is not my first rodeo. It's not the first bike I've ever built. It's not the first engine I've ever built, but for some reason, this particular motorcycle likes to break those push rods. Now, I've went in and adjusted the valves several times, done everything to what I figured would be to make it the best it possibly can, but yet, once again, this thing likes to break push rods. First time being right after I got it built, and I was like, well, maybe it's a fluke. Maybe it was just like I mismeasured something, used the wrong filler gauge, whatever. The second time was when we were loading up to go to Born Free, Texas, and you've seen the video where we were doing the dirt drags on this thing. Well, I let my friend Eric jump on it, and I was like, man, rip it up. This thing runs amazing. It's awesome. He rips it, breaks a push rod. Change it right there in his driveway, load it up in the truck, headed to Texas, do all the dirt drags, and the bike's running amazing. We beat all those other motorcycles. It was a super fun time. Come back here, park it. We got all the other projects and trips and things going on, and then I go to jump on it today and kickstart it. Starts up fine, and I get just a little bit down the road, and this happens. Yeah, that's right. Breaks a push rod. Don't know why. Can't explain it. But I threw another one in. And she seems to be running fine. And some people might call me crazy. But we're going to load this thing up and we're going to drive 2,509 miles across the United States to ride this in the desert. With the risk of knowing that it's possibly going to break a push rod at some point on that trip. Yeah, I might be crazy. I might be dumb, but that's what we're gonna do with it. But today on this video, I want to take the opportunity and talk about what kind of tools am I gonna bring with me in the event that something goes wrong on the PRP. So let's take a look at my little collection of tools that we're gonna throw in the bag and carry through the desert with us. All right, guys, so here's what I'm bringing to the Biltwell 100. A good friend of mine, Mr. Bill Wheeler, did a video on his YouTube channel, which you guys should check out. It'll be in the description below, on his 1957 Triumph that he is bringing out to the Biltwell 100. So make sure you check out his videos. He's got some great stuff, some great motorcycles, all kinds of cool stuff that he's doing on his channel. But this is the things that I'm going to be packing for my trip in the event that something wrong happens. Now, got a nice little tool roll, got some essential tools inside there, got a wrench that works for your spark plugs. It also has a gapping tool, all kinds of cool stuff in it. A screwdriver that has a reversible head, so you got Phillips and your standard. Got a crescent wrench that goes really big enough, a matter of fact, to take off an axle nut. And you might be wondering, why do you need to take off an axle nut? Well, flat tires happen all the time in the desert, and you got to be prepared for those things. Things like tire spoons, so you can get that tire off, and other cool things like a pair of pliers, because that is going to come in handy everywhere. And if you have a flat tire, you need a tube. Well, my motorcycle has a 21-inch tire on the front and an 18 on the back. So you think, all right, well, we gotta pack 2 tubes. No, we're not packing 2 tubes. All we need is a 21-inch tube. And you might be asking yourself, well, what about the back? It's smaller, right? Well, Bill talks really good about that in his video, so I'll let you guys go over and watch that. But, you know, you can throw that 21 in the back and make it do for your 18. So those are the things. Now, something really special is like, all right, you're out in the desert, you get a flat tire, I've got to air up that tire, right? Well, I'm not going to be carrying a hand pump with me, and you know, there's all kinds of options out there. Bill, he uses a CO2 cartridge inflator. Well, good friends over at AirMoto sent me this amazing Bluetooth, not Bluetooth, I'm not smart when it comes to tech, but this is a wireless USB chargeable inflator for your tire. All you have to do is punch in the amount of pounds that you want, and this thing will go right up. For example, let's go ahead and pull her out of the box here in front of all you guys. Nice compact unit, nice and small, will fit inside your little tool pouch. You just simply turn the power on, hold it in for just a second, and she powers right on just like that. And you got different settings. You can set it for cars, you can set it for motorcycles. Right there, motorcycle, and I just set in 40 pounds. And what you do, pull out this little tube, screw it in right here, attach that in to your tube, and then you just simply hit start, and it will begin to inflate right up to the pounds that you set. I mean, you could set this thing all the way up to 100 pounds. It's pretty awesome little device, and it fits right inside of your pouch. Super easy, super cool tool. And it works amazing. Go check out AirMoto, grab you one of these for your car, for your motorcycle, whatever you need to inflate, basketballs, whatever, it'll do it all. Well, the old desert sled, unfortunately, I'm not sure if we're gonna make it through that 100 miles or not, but you guys are gonna be with me. I have a plan to put a 360 camera on that bike so you guys can see all the raw footage, control the camera, look at the landscape as I am putting my way through that course. Hopefully I make it. Hopefully I finish the race. I'm not looking to win a trophy or anything like that. I am looking to just have a great time, and a great time with you guys. That, my friends, is going to wrap up today's video. So thank you guys for hanging out. Hey, what I want you to do right now is jump down in the comments and leave a comment saying, how far do you think that the PRP is going to make it in the Biltwell 100? Will it make it all the way to the end, or will it make it 20 yards into the race? I just hope I have a good time doing it. So with that, if you guys are new around here, jump down and let us know how you enjoyed today's video. Hit that subscribe button. If you really liked the video, hit that thumbs up, turn those notifications on, and let everyone know what's going on right here at Weems Motor Co. Peace.